Hello everyone. Welcome to yet another session on soft skills and interpersonal communication with me Waheeda, Assistant Professor at the Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Dundigal, Hyderabad. In today's session, we are going to throw some light on oral presentation. Earlier to this, we talked about public speaking and PPT presentations we talked about. Here, a brief lecture on oral presentation. First, we need to know the objectives. Why we need to have these oral presentations. Understand what oral presentation is. After completing this video, you will come to know what oral presentation is there, and then we are going to discuss various kinds of oral presentations are there. Identify different elements in oral presentations and be familiar with the steps involved in preparing to give an oral presentation. There are so many aspects to it. The 4 P's of presentation, actually it is planning, preparing, practicing and presentation that we are going to talk about in this video. So it is essentially a spoken form of technical writing which involves both the activity and the art of public conversation. With the spread of modern media and also technology, oral presentation has become a significant means of effective communication for scientists, scholars, engineers and students and professionals as well. So the presentation situation is based on reciprocal action between the presenter and the audience. Oral presentation helps to broaden the thinking process of the writers of the project report, and also it involves the reader's participation face to face. Actually, it is the formal way of presenting any topic, any subject matter or any content. It is a useful means of technical communication. It has many communicative function. It can sell your audience or product easily if you know how to make effective oral presentations, how to convince your audience, how to negotiate them, how to make them do certain things that you want to do or want them to do, and also buy their product or buy their services or get the services done. So it is a very pivotal way of doing a presentation and making your audience negotiative. So the potentials of oral presentations, largely they depend on the presenter's preparedness and involvement. How the presenter takes the idea, the concept, and how he or she showcases it depends upon how we are prepared and how much we are involved with that. So that the success of the presentation or the success of the selling of the product depends on how it is vice versa. If the presentation is good and if the audience are convinced, they might end up buying your product, they might end up buying your services, and they might get convinced easily. Usually the politicians or the military professionals and higher officials use this method of communicating with their subordinates. Oral presentations have some advantages over written presentations, like it is face to face. We have the value of our face and facial expressions, regulators, emblems. All these things might work several times. Oral presentations even break the monologue and open up dialogues between the presenter and the audience. In written script, what happens? The writer writes and leaves the content, and some other time, or when the matter is published or when it has gone to the reader, then only the audience come across the matter. But when it is oral presentation, when the audience are live, then the rapport is different, as the face value is there, and facial expressions, as I told you, body language, and the presence of the speaker in front of the audience matters a lot. So there is this persuasion, and the monologue is there. It will break the monologue of and they have the open up dialogue between the presenter and the audience. In this way, a large number of audiences can interact meaningfully in an oral presentation situation and can provide alternative viewpoints. Like it can be a kind of discussion might happen. If any doubt is created in the conversation, then it can be cleared on the spot itself. That kind of advantage we have in oral presentation than with the written presentation. The listener can also raise some debatable points that help the speaker clarify his position. So, then and there it can happen. If anybody has the doubt also, it can be clarified on the spot itself. Through the oral presentation mode, the speaker attempts to give a concrete shape to his message in the open. Unlike the written communication, in oral presentation, the voice matters a lot, the pitch and the intonation, inflections, articulation that the speaker utilizes to convince his or her audience makes a lot of difference in oral presentation in contrast to the written content. In a decision-making context, the speaker can persuade a group of listeners to take a decision, vote on a decision, and also give feedback for taking decision. It can immediately happen. But unlike the written communication, the reader has to receive the content, they have to read it, maybe it is available sometimes, or if it is not available, they will not be able to give the feedback immediately. So look for areas that require special care or for taking decision at a later stage. Thus we can say that a document or a project is understood better if it is conveyed through an oral presentation. All the details can be explained, or if there is any misunderstanding or there is confusion or there is any doubt developing, then it can be clarified on the spot, on the moment itself. So there are certain things as to how to make a good presentation. What is the first thing that people get afraid? They are frightened of speaking in front of the audience. So conquering stage fright is the most important thing. You should think that our audience are not my enemies. You have to just be relaxed and also maintain eye contact. The prerequisite of a good oral presentation or public speaking is that of maintaining eye contact with your audience. Feel relaxed, and you should feel that whatever I know, whatever I am going to present today, that is going to be the best that I can do for my audience. And I have knowledge not anyone in my audience are having, then that will give you a lot of confidence as to how I am presenting my content. And never say to your audience that I do not have much knowledge about it, but I don't know why the people have called me to present. It will question your credibility as a presenter. So never speak such things. You want to be humble with your audience, but never give them this kind of doubt that why they have come to waste their precious time in your presentation. Don't give them this thought. And also speak with confidence. Think that you are the master of your presentation today. And conquer your fright. If you have nervousness, many people will have nervousness, and try to use that nervousness in presenting your content in a better manner. Because if you are confident that you will do better, you might not prepare well. So preparation is a very important thing. In any presentation, you need to write your content word to word. Whatever you are going to go and speak on the podium or on your desk, you need to write all the things word for word. That is what is planning your content. Edit it, re-edit it. After collecting the data and putting them in one part, in one place, you have to read it several times, and then edit it, re-edit it until you think that this is the right document, this is the right amount of content that I want to present to my audience. In that you will become a good writer even when you know how to compile the article or the page that you want to present in front of you. This preparedness actually will help you conquer your stage fear. If you are well prepared, you will be confident. And most of the more than 50% of the mistakes happen because you have not prepared, or in this earlier stage itself, because you have not prepared well, or because you have uh, you are trying to conquer that stage fear. And knowing your audience is very important. This is called as audience analysis. Before you prepare your content, you should know to whom you are going to talk to, what are their pet peeves, what are the idiosyncrasies are. Then if you know what are their pains are, what are their likes and dislikes. Like for example, if the Gen Z generation, if you are going to talk to, you need to talk to them about the things that interest them, or at least the way that they talk, or the way that their style of talking, and the kind of vocabulary that they understand. If you are going to use your vocabulary, the high vocabulary that you are having, and the people who are coming to listen to are not so well educated, or they might be mixed group of people, like some are coming from schools and some are coming from colleges, and some are scholars and some are PhD doctorate, some are professors. If you have a middle mixed kind of audience, you need to adhere to their requirement. If they are giving some time to come and listen to you, you need to give them take back home content that they should be satisfied when they are leaving the hall. And then comes the content of the presentation. Very important thing. You should not speak something blah blah which is not so impressive, or which is not so important. Very important is how you arrange the content in logical, chronological order of occurrence. And also maintaining this unity and coherence is very important in when you are arranging the content. This comes when you are preparing several after having read the content several times, after having edited it, you need to know where to show any kind of video or any audio that you want to play. Then the structure of the presentation is also very important, how you are arranging it in a logical, chronological order. And then comes the delivery of the presentation. So while you're preparing for the delivery, you need to take care of so many things. Your body language, very important aspect. The way that you showcase yourself in front of your audience speaks a lot. The kind of confidence that you're showing, the way that you enter the podium, enter the dais, and also stand near the podium. Do not put hands in your pockets, or do not shiver. If you are sweating profusely and all, try to get over that. If you go some 10 to 15 minutes before the presentation to the place of presentation, you need to check whether your software and hardware is compatible with the things that are provided in the presentation hall or not. And then when you are preparing, you need to stand in front of your mirror and then practice the content that you are going to deliver. There you will know how are your movements, what kind of body language that you are showcasing in front of your audience. Record your speech, then listen to it. Just listen to it and don't watch the video. Then just watch the video, mute it and watch the video. Then the third time you need to do is you need to listen while you watch the video. There you will come to know any kind of pronunciation mistakes that you are making, or any inappropriate body language that you are showcasing. Then you try to get over that. Ask your peer groups or family members to watch the video and comment on that, so that you rectify any mistakes that are happening over there. Eat lot of carbohydrates, so that when you are having so much of anxiety, you need to have lot of carbohydrates to get that energy. Drink a lot of water, take deep breathing, and also meditate a little bit before coming. Think you are the boss. That will give you a lot of confidence. You are the boss of that presentation, uh, and that will help you a lot in your confidence. Some sorry, some stage fright is helpful, because the reason is we are not accustomed to speaking in public. Symptoms in beginners are trembling arms, excessive sweating, as I told you, lack of fluency, etc. Some people fall blank. I mean, they do not remember what is it that they have to speak when they are excessively having kind of anxiety or something. So if you are preparing the subject thoroughly, then you will gain that confidence. You will not feel nervous. Do some warm up exercises, such as rotating arms, moving the facial muscles, and also take deep breath before speaking, like positive thinking. I will present it well. If you understand your brain, make your brain understand that you are a good presenter, your brain will also reciprocate in that same manner. Breathing exercises will help you a lot. Then use some tongue twisters to develop the speaking skill. One need to have strong vocabulary. The more words we have, the stronger speaking skill will be. The best way to improve vocabulary is to read and to make a lot of notes of new words on a daily basis. If you maintain this habit of learning 2 words per day, and understanding their, learning their meaning, and using those words in sentences of your own, that those words will become yours, and you will be able to use them on a daily basis, and that will improve your vocabulary. Grammar again is very important aspect. It is something we only need for written language, but it is not so. But it includes various important areas for spoken language, as well as understanding of the tenses and the correct way to structure sentences. This is very important, that we must have grammar knowledge, and to convey the information in a way that the listeners will recognize and understand clearly. If you are saying certain things in past tense, and you want the audience to understand it for the future, you are mistaken. They might misunderstand you, and your whole presentation may become a disaster. And fluency is also a matter. Nobody wants to listen to a slow and dull presentation. Fluency in speaking is very important, because people have many things to do in this era of shortage of time. It can be achieved by practicing speaking skills on a daily basis. So understanding how to correctly pronounce words is another important element of speaking. We learn how to pronounce words by listening to those around us, such as our parents, friends, and also teachers. A lot of this comes from phonemic awareness. This involves understanding the small units that make up spoken language. It is very important to copy. Actually, we have a lot of mother tongue influence in our communication. So how to get over that communication barrier? We need to practice a lot of listening to the native speakers, to the good speakers from whom we can imitate the conversation, and also increase our vocabulary on a daily basis. When we have vocabulary, we need to express our thoughts, our feelings, our knowledge towards to the society, to the people around us. If we are lacking in, maybe we are having so much information about some content, but we do not know how to give words to that feeling, or we do not know how to offer words to that knowledge, then we may end up keeping the knowledge with us, and we may become old, and we may forget things, and we may eventually die, and the information will remain with us. So it is very important that we communicate our thoughts to others, and that's how we need to give oral presentations on topics pertaining to these things. A few more things we are going to talk about in public speaking as well. Again, public speaking is the process and act of speaking or giving a lecture to a group of people in a structured, delivered manner intended to inform, influence, or entertain a listening audience. Public speaking is communicating a message effectively to a group of audience. Things like articulation, correct pronunciation, again, like the oral presentation, dialect, accent, and pleasant voice facilitate the interest in the audience. And these are the three basics of effective public speaking, that we must have authority, authenticity, and audience, the three basic A's of public speaking. Then comes the public speaking is an act of leadership, and if you lack authority on stage, the audience will assume you lack authority off stage too. The audience is listening to you, and so be in charge, be credible, feel comfortable, and own the room. This is mostly done by the authoritative.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.